Hello and welcome everyone to a brand new Total War Warhammer campaign playing as the Beastmen. We'll be weaving two of my favorite mods together for this adventure, utilizing both the SFO overhaul mod for all the tweaks and changes it makes to campaign and faction mechanics, battles, AI behavior, units, and tons more awesome stuff. The other major mod we'll have running is the Old World custom map, which will have a much more true to lore version of the Old World, and parts of the Badlands with a total of 809 settlements. This map is an absolute triumph, and I highly recommend everyone to campaign with this mod even if you're someone who normally steers well clear of mods. Karl Franz, Wurzag, or any of the three factions battling over Karakate Peaks are my recommendations for your first campaigns, as they all have very interesting and challenging starts that really add some extra lore value to your run, which I always find extra engaging. This series will be going up every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday going forward, and with all that out of the way, let's get into the details of our Morghur the Shadowgave campaign. So, reborn once more, Morghur's ruinous cycle of madness and destruction begins anew in the forests of Bretonnia. He'll be leading the warherd of the Shadowgave with a starting army of some Centaurs, some regular old Ungor, both spear lads, and the bowmen. We've got some Razor Gore chariots, which will be our most elite variant of chariot, a couple Chaos Spawn, and then some normal old cheap and cheerful Ungor horde, though mocked by stronger beasts. So we've got the faction effects for the Warherd of the Shadowgave being army ability Veil of Corruption once Morghur reaches level 40 for all of our armies, which will be giving us a little bit of an additional tweak to our playstyle, slowing down most of our units, making them a lot heavier, and making them heal, and then allow them to have a little bit more charge resistance, so we're going to be a lot slower, but we'll be much, much tankier. We'll have extra Chaos Divided Corruption +5 for all characters faction-wide. Alright, English. Our Dark Gift upgrades for Beastmen Chaos Spawn units will be able to upgrade those Chaos Spawn with kind of the same thing that you would be able to do with your Greenskin Scrap upgrades. We'll have a Casualty Replenishment Rate +4% for Chaos Spawn and Jabberslythe units per Herdstone. We'll have unique units, all Chaos Spawn and God variants. For our Lord effects, we'll have Rating Stance upgraded to the Despoiler Rating Stance, which spreads corruption and attrition. We'll have the passive ability Aura of Vile Transmutation, which just adds a little bit of a damage over time to everyone around Morghur, up to 4 entities. We will have immunity to Athalor attrition for his army. Morghur will only remain wounded for 1 turn. We'll have an additional 10 Chaos Undivided Corruption, so we'll have a lot of it going with both the faction and Morghur himself. And then the whole army will have 25% more spell resistance, which is terrifying for facing off against any of the Wood Elves, which we are going to be doing lots of. He starts smack dab in the middle of Bretonnia. And for our lore, the vile, twisted creature known as Morghur is the essence of mutation and corruption giving form. His coarse hair is woven through with gibbering, shrieking skulls, and his form flows and reshapes with every passing second. Morghur's lair is deep within a cave near the Forest of Arden, and dank stone walls flow like water in his presence, constantly reforming to mirror the dark visions that plague him. Morghur's mind is filled with images of destruction and desolation. Hatred boils within his heart, and he's consumed with the desire to make his waking dreams become reality. To rip down civilization in all its forms, to shatter order wherever it is found, and to change the world constantly and randomly. As he walks the world, everything in his presence is irrecoverably twisted. Grass grows in disturbing patterns beneath his hooves, streams flow backwards, and animals mutate horribly. He is just a lovely bundle of party for everyone around, mostly a forcible party. Going to be a whole bunch of Chaos Spawn rolling in this Morghur campaign. I will have the mod list in the description below, and with all that, let's get to the campaign. Roar. Alrighty, well, how they play the Warherd of the Shadowgave. Also, that was the most terrifying roar ever. They could have probably distorted it and twisted it a little bit to make it sound a little bit more spooky. But instead, we got slightly sad, Eeyore, corrupted. Okay, so we've got raise herdstones to establish blood grounds where you can gather marks of rumination that multiply and strengthen your hordes. Roskar, get out of here. We need to fight and raid to maintain the bestial rage of your forces, which looks to be a repurposed Wa ability, allowing the expansion of horde encampments. You'll earn dread throughout your campaign to spend on upgrades for hordes and characters, and then we'll use the Beast Path stance to avoid obstacles on the campaign map, which is very similar to the Underways and it is what we have access to here. We've got the first mission issued, fight with the Knights of Artois. I think we can get that going. Our enemies gather to strike against us. Attack first and deny them the opportunity to reach full strength. For 500 favor. We should get right to that because I forgot to mention so on the startup there. We are going to be playing on a very hard difficulty with all of the sliders set to 0, so the AI is going to have no positive buffs on the actual battle map at all. But since it is on very hard, all of our units will have a slight drop to their overall leadership. I believe it's about 3 to 5. I'm not sure the exact number, but on very hard you do actually have a slight drop in your leadership. But I like all of the units to actually retain their normal... Quick jump cut interrupted by Grandfather Nurgle already. I like the units to retain their overall identity, and it's not fun having a group of Ungor Herd, which would normally perform pretty well against a group of Skaven Slaves. It would completely lose if we had the slider set to normal, so we just want every unit to perform exactly how they were expected to be. We want a smart AI at the same time. So as far as how the Beastmen play, I have actually only ever played a partial campaign with Morghur to do a bit of testing here. So I kind of know very little. So if you are well versed in the Beastmen, go ahead and give us some shoutouts in the comment. We are definitely going to need all the help we can get. We have the Bestial Rage over here, which is going to be giving us our primary means of achieving growth. So it's horde growth completely tied to our Bestial Rage 4, 5. Doesn't tell us exactly how much more it will be increasing our growth, but we should just know that it will be. Our Chaos Spawn also have those unit upgrades like previously said, and we will be spending a little bit of our gold right off the bat to give them one of these upgrades for sure. This first fight here is no joke. Chillfroy's got a couple Knights of the Realm, which have some bonus versus large, and then he's got a Field Trebuchet as well, so we'll be up against the wall for sure. We will go ahead and chuck in the Chaos Armor here, which gives us a bonus versus large and extra armor. We'll lose a bit of speed, which is entirely fine. Lose quite a bit of speed, down to 45. These are going to be much better against those Knights, because now they have the exact same amount of bonus v large as these Knights of the Realm do.
Holy vow. No!
You must keep his holy vows. We've only got the one Herdstone shard, rather. We just need to come on up to, I'm thinking, Castle Artois. Start laying waste to the surrounding hillsides. Let's get about it. We've got 4,000 gold left over. We can't really do anything else with it. Take a quick look at our rewards of dread here. So as we build up dread through, I think, just combat and different buildings, it's acquired by completing missions, raising settlements, and winning battles. The more dread received, the more enemy casualties inflicted. Alright. We can use that to increase our unit caps for both lords and heroes and units. Excellent, and we can even recruit in Torox, Malagor, and Khazrak over time. We'll definitely be grabbing Torox first. He is a little baby Scarbrand. And as well, let's actually upgrade our Herdstones. Alright. At rank 5 off the start. Pretty good. And for just buyable items. Banner of Madness for... looks like a Jabberslythe. Or just maybe turns a unit into a Jabberslythe. Cool stuff. Minotaurs. Savage Dominion allows you to summon a Cygor for what, 10,000? You might want to focus this first. Just the ability to summon in a Cygor anytime we want. 2 times a battle. Seems a bit strong. That's enough dirtling though. Let's throw ourselves into the first battle with Chillfroy. Give us a Pyrrhic victory. Yeah, it's absolutely not going to be an easy fight. We have the Razorgore Chariots, which are going to have, what do these guys got going extra? The Bleed, bonus for infantry, and armor piercing. Bestial Pack Tactics will slow everyone down around them, or at least 2 units. Morghur is slightly different than on normal, so he has Spirit Essence of Chaos here, so when there's an enemy that drops below 20% health, they will more or less just explode, and then they will become a unit of Chaos Spawn that we can use to fight on our side, which is just fantastic. Alright then. Take one quick look at the map. 2 arms there, Chillfroy. Alright, let's get set up for the battle, and we'll go ahead and take a quick look at our units and the opponents before we start. Most of the starting armies for the AI here on the old world are quite dangerous. Let's go ahead and set our spearmen up, ready to throw down with the enemy cavalry if they actually make it into range. Spear herd up front. I'm actually going to keep the normal herd of Ongor. How far can the field trebuchet fire? Pretty far, so maybe instead we'll have it try to take down Morghur and the Doombull. They'll have a harder, or the much easier time dodging. We'll put Morghur up front here. We will go Centaur, and then the Chaos Spawn in front of them. We'll try to have the Chaos Spawn engage the Knights first, and then the Centaurs will rush around behind on both sides here. So we'll have the Chaos Spawn just out of range of the trebuchets, so they have to move forward. Centaur hanging out off the side of them. And then the Chariots, I guess, can roll with them as well. Perfect. And they shall have themselves a Doombull as a bodyguard. Archers here in the center line. This Ongor herd ready to rush through, or maybe we'll just keep them up. They can sneak attack the heck out of the enemy archers. There we are. The infantry in a group. I'm going to count the raiders as infantry. We'll put them in guard mode. All of the beasties. Resting Glinities. Let's take a look at what we are rolling with here. Starting off with our Norby Ongor herd. And with the different Beastmen, factions usually just changes their overall palette to the actual Beastmen themselves, so it actually changes quite a bit comparatively to some of the others. We've got quite pale Beastmen. Bringing the snow camouflage, much like myself. These lads are ready to go. Two-handed spearmen. I mean, they look quite angry, but they're pretty diminutive in terms of actual Beastmen. Ready to try to prove themselves and hopefully gain some more mutations. The Dark Gods famously don't really favor them all that much. They're quite bored with the Beastmen, so they already have them kind of under their sway. It takes quite a lot for one of the Beastmen to actually gain some blessings. The Jaguars, which I believe have a vastly increased unit count here in SFO. In normal, I think it's close to 36 or so models. We have almost double that here, which is going to allow them to be much more dangerous as a charging force, as there's just so many more of them. A rowdy bunch. Squidgy Chaos Boys. Well, Beastmen dig too close together in Morghur's presence, you get one of these. Happens quite often, apparently. They'll sign the waivers, though. This guy's got a beard made out of, like, fingers and stuff. That is a nightmare. Over to our Razor Gore chariots. Which I do love me some Razor Gores. We will have a swarm of the piggies coming in, at least for one of our armies, will be mostly Razor Gore. The Doomstack shall approach. Our other Centaurs. And then the Doombull. One thinking is going to be a absolute MVP for our squad here, and he looks downright dastardly. Hold still for a moment, brother. He's missing an eye. Probably jabbed it out himself. Whole lot of cow. Then we have a Morghur, who just looks as unfortunate as possible. Pot crab, pot goat. Or something else. Sonic the Hedgehog. Leaking what looks like leaves. I'm guessing that's supposed to be corruption, but he just looks like a rather happy fall-themed beast, isn't he? Alright then, oh yeah, so we look at Chilfroy. Hello there, good sir. Your men are going to be exploded here rather shortly. Bunch of very angry peasants wielding spears. A few of them have been handed bows instead. It shall not matter. Easily the most dangerous unit is going to be Chilfroy himself and these trebuchets. As long as we can get the knights locked down on units that they shouldn't be fighting, we have no trouble against them at all, but we actually have to make sure we do so, and then move the infantry in to keep those peasant bowmen from laying waste. Let's get it going. Move Morghur himself forward. The field trebuchets are going to move off to the side, so we're going to kind of pursue a bit. I'm going to have the Doom Bull move up. We'll have them throw down together with Chilfroy if we can there. We'll have you two kind of move up. Looks like the trebuchets can see you. Moving up a little bit should keep them minorly safe. Even if very minorly. The beasts moving up the sides there. Do not allow them to land some shots. One of them hit. Okay, I think they do have regeneration. As long as it's not a model drop, we should be able to recover from it no problem. Have Morghur and company rotate as well. Keep them falling back. They're trying to lure us in with their knights. The AI on SFO is much more attuned to battle. So they're no longer under fire. Let's go ahead and move them up. Keep Centaur in the woods, though. Same thing over here. Let's move these guys forward. Keep the Centaur wide. And the Razor Goer can thread the gap. Watch for those rocks. Move, Crab Brothers, move. Trying to limit casualties on our Ungor so we can assault one of the other towns here this next battle easily. You guys move up in after Chilfroy. Let's move the chariots in. You guys go after those Knights of the Realm. Pull back ever so slightly. Bring the bowmen, or our bowmen, in to harass theirs. Just gonna stop what we can here. Draw those knights over. These lads are trying to charge straight down the middle. Doom Bull goes straight through them. Let Morghur charge through. Come on back. Centaur and company come on through. Centaur hit them first, which is not great. There's a few of those guys. Charge back through our spawn there. And then with that added help, we should have no trouble. We'll surround from there. Doom Bull keep chasing Chilfroy. Razor Goer. I got caught in the Spearman. Well done. Use that mass to push through, though. Don't allow them any shots. You guys keep chasing the Knights of the Realm. Beautiful. Charge in and assist your comrades there. My rowdy Centaur brothers. We definitely need the great weapon variant sooner rather than later. Chaos good. You guys move up and help out the Knights of the Realm, get that bleed effect applied. Obliterate those peasant bowmen. We haven't got anyone below the health required to trigger the explosion, sadly. Go ahead and pull the Centaur through. They're not great against the Knights at all, are they? Even with the support. Let's let the regenerative boys do some damage. Looks like most of the enemy line is fleeing. Some shots of the Razor Goer chariots ripping through fleeing Bretonnians. No free spawn, sadly. Should barrel right through. The poor farmers. And there's a first win. Cody sprawl all over the place. We lost a few of our Centaurs, but I think in the long run there, we limited our casualties pretty well. Morghur shall be chasing down these peasants. We'll see how many we can round up, and I'll show in a moment. Alright, an awesome first victory. Only 56 beasts fall. Most of that actually going to our Centaurs, which hopefully we can kind of try to stop in the future, like make sure our casualties are going to the Ungor where they belong. We need to grab a little bit more of our bestial rage there, and we grabbed a 75 dread. Let's see about taking some extra replenishment, that way we can continue on with our battle. Gold is pretty nice though. Let's go ahead and let's risk it. We'll lose a bit of our rage as well, but let's see how fast we can get up to the 10,000 to grab the item and allow us to summon in the Cygor. Will hurt our growth a little bit, but we'll gain lots of gold for our troubles. Move Morghur immediately in to attack Castle Artois. I don't know if it wants us to attack Lariat or Artois, but I'm thinking raising the Herdstone here will be much more of a story to tell. Let's get him. Alright, so defending Artois is a healthy dose of men-at-arms, normal sword and board, and some spear lads. 3 peasants and the yeoman. That's nowhere near enough. Fast look at the map we've got here. Alright, excellent. We should likely just focus all forces into one spot, don't spread them out too much. Alright, Artois. Ruination comes. Alright, time for a rousing game of Whack-A-Peasant. They've got 2 towers there. I mean, the towers here are much more spread apart, so that's likely where we're going to be attacking from, because otherwise we're going to be shot at by 2 at once the entire time. Here, we can also be shot at by 2, but they're a little bit more spread apart. So we're going to attack from over here. Let's grab the spawn, we'll split them up. Don't really need to keep them in the woods at all. I'm going to have the Centaur hiding in the center line off on the sides, ready to rush through. Everything can hide there too, that's excellent. The Razor Gore chariots, I'm going to keep behind our spawn on this side. Going to be our main ways of getting through those gates. With the Ungor being key for getting up and over the walls. Take them off fire at will to start the battle. That way we don't waste any of their ammunition. Let Morghur lead the charge. The Doom will do the same on the other side there. Right then. Ungor, beasties, and the big boys. No one else is undeployed, I don't see. 100% deployment rate, we are looking good. Move the lads in, start knocking down the gates. Archers will immediately start blasting in, but we've got lots of extra armor, so hopefully they can stand that for a moment. I'm gonna have my archer teams move up. I'll have them start firing after they get into that position into the trees there. Just keep focusing your arrows on Morghur. Excellent idea, fools. The Doom Bulls can't handle it nearly as well as Morghur. Fall back. The spawn takes some of that damage for you. You guys start blanketing those bowmen and arrow fire yourselves. Glad that Morghur is taking the damage, but that is quite a bit of it. Start sending the beasts in. Break them. Those towers are actually able to hit some shots. They do a lot of damage. No models lost, though, means we should be very healthy to get through the gates. They're suppressed. That makes sense. It's almost like a rifle shot. Right, archers, let's go ahead and have you do some damage. They They are on dealing with our Doom Bull. Keep moving up, but you're not getting blanketed with arrows. Morghur, let's keep you guys up front here. For them to go after that group of archers, but as soon as they're in a position, we'll just let them do their thing. Morghur, move in. You walk though, so you don't get taken out by towers. Get through those gates nice and slow. Gonna stop them from getting up here with us. Our own archers there are getting destroyed, start falling back. If we get through the walls, we are good to go. Until then, we are pretty dangerous straits here. You guys run over and deal with these bowmen. Stop these peasants. Stop them cold. Stay here and fight these guys. These guys are getting destroyed by archers. Unfortunate. Bravery we are not known for. Get through those gates, lads. They're taking their sweet time. Back into the woods. No reason to get shot by the archers. Fortunate the Morghur's mutation can't move to multiple. Our Morghurs are trying to retreat through their lines. They're going to get butchered on the way in. Which is quite sad. So chariots fall back for a moment. We'll have our archers do the same. They can get it and get one volley, but that's about all. We'll have them stand off to the side there, just out of range, and try to blast these men-at-arms. Help our spearmen out. As soon as we're in the gate, we're sold. Gatehouses aren't taken out, so we can't have them escape just yet. Yeah, it does like to be sneaky. Get ready, it's belt time. As soon as the gates are down, we're sending all the Morghur in the same position. They are quick with dealing with our archers. Attacking the gatehouse where you can, that way we can actually knock it down. Slowly and steadily. Alright, now we're through. In, lads. We'll send the chariots past. We're gonna have them get into the bowmen proper. Morghur, you should get straight on in. Morghur, you as well charge into the mass. Break who you can. We'll have them come clean across. In fact, we'll not have them come clean across. You guys charge in. Break these knights, these mounted yeomen, as it were. You guys go after the archers. That'll do. Right, raise your board up. Not the direction I would have had you go, but if that is how it's going to work out, that's how it's going to work out. Our Beastmen are, or at least our normal Chaos Spawn there, are rampaged. Come on, smash these bowmen. Chariots do struggle inside of settlements. That should be an easy target for you guys. They can come back on in and smash into these spearmen. You Morghur move up, start helping out with the yeomen. On, you force your way through. Have you come on back and smash into these bowmen there. Morghur. Not winning that fight, so let's pull on him out for a moment. Morghur is back up the hill here. Quickly. Overwhelm these archers. We'll have the Doom Bull come back up and go after the mounted yeoman there. Alright, our archers help out against these men-at-arms. All Morghur back down the hill. We'll let our new Chaos Spawn keep forcing their way through enemy lines. Those yeomen are gone. Now we crash in over here. We're actually struggling against the archers, which is concerning. You slaughter the bowmen, it's simple. They are the peasants. You smoosh them. So before you pull away from the fight one more time, let's come on and pull out the outside there. Door crash in. We need the chariots coming on away from the spearmen too. Let the spawn come up in and help out with that. This group is broken. Razors come up the hill. Fall back, let the spawn deal with them in your place. And Ungor, you come up and help out with the yeoman. Gonna probably do some fair damage to our Ungor. Chariots, you deal with these cool archers. Beautiful. And this marvelous charge. And now turn around and go after these clumped up spears. I know you're tired, rattle on down the hill. That was a pitiful charge. It's enough to secure victory though. And worn out as we are, the castle of Artois falls. I am going to butcher as many of these lads as we can just to see if we get more dread from it. I'll get you all in a moment. And a victory. Yeah, no, our Ungor did not perform all that well, except for the normal herd did enough to gain themselves a gold star, at least a bronze star, or a normal chevron. Either way, they have a sticker to award them some happy points for winning. Got 75 more dread. I'm not sure if that is just due to the overall win and everyone being wiped out or what, but we'll take it. And then for Artois, we shall raise our first herdstone. Challenge completed. What an awesome bit of art this is. This guy has been having himself a man-witch. By the will of the dark gods, the meteoric rock from which the herdstones were hewn once fell upon the world. Sure, I mixed that up somewhere. By that same will, you have raised one in their name. We have access to the challenges panel to receive our reward for completing the Plight of the No-Horns challenge. That we shall. Plight of the No-Horns gives us the thrumming power of a herdstone and invigorates the lowly Ungor's thirst to take vengeance upon the world that spawned them. Ah, so just, edginess, the research. Extra weapon strength when fighting against dwarves, high elves, wood elves, dark elves, and men. So anyone that likes civilization. Well, that counts the chaos dwarves in there as well. How much gold are we sitting at? 6,000? Well, you know, I said we were going to save for that first item. I like building an army far too much for that. Let's grab the Presence of Morghur sleeve to just start a little bit of passive income on the experience. Same thing with the training for Rosgor Blood Gorge. Good old Rosgor. We're going to change you and you shall become our first... Whoa, our good old caps lock. You should become our first Kevin. Kevin Blood Gorge. Perform well. I'm not going to go ahead if we lose our first Kevin here. He didn't change his name. There we go. If we lose him, I won't be resurrecting the name. I have had a Kevin in every single one of my campaigns as far back as I can remember, and I'm going to keep that going as far forward as I can. For our first building here, so basically we're choosing between getting chosen Corngors, which are dual axe infantry. That sounds awesome. Chosen Zangors, which look to be a javelin. No, they're bowmen. They also are going to be wielding what looks like either a spear or a halberd. Seems pretty great. We've got the Pestigors, which are sword and board. Very tanky and have rotten regeneration. They'll be healing. And then we've got the chosen Slandgors, which have unseen beast. They're much faster and they have stalk. Good grief. Does the Mark of Slanesh give them extra devastating flanker? No, but they can be sneaky. Post battle loot faction wide, extra ammunition. This drops reload time for everyone in siege battles. And gives us more ammunition for everyone in the Blood Grounds. I'm tempted to be going for either the Winds of Malady here. Red gain from battles faction-wide. That's pretty solid. All of these are great. For some reason, Corn increases how fast we complete our Challenge of the Dark Gods. This increases how much overall post-battle loot we gain. I think Dread's going to be our best call, though. Let's go for the Chosen Zangor building line. The Shamanic Challenges. Don't give us any replenishment or anything really all that useful yet in terms of military buffs, but it does give us that extra dread gain from all battles. We shall gain it. Also go ahead and throw in the Heads on Spikes, give us 25 dread per turn. Fully getting rid of our treasury. Right, grab some Ungor Herd, some spears, since we don't have to pay for any of our units, which looks like no upkeep and no recruitment cost. Clearly that's not going to be strong at all. We'll grab one more unit of archers while we are at it. Perfect, so the ritual's locked. We wouldn't want to activate that anyway. The further the devastation, the more marks of ruination we gain. Once devastation here reaches level 10, the Ritual of Ruin can be performed. Excellent. I think as far as our first reward of Dread goes, we're not going to worry about upgrading our unit caps at all just off the start. We are going to be saving and trying to grab either... Let me know in the comments if we want to grab the Horde armies raised up to this encampment building. Are we able to raise this without the technology? Okay, we can. But what we can't do is upgrade our Herdstone without the technology. We should likely go for first the rune-covered Herdstone. That way our new Herdstones are erected at level 2, and we can start upgrading our first one here. There, we can go for... Probably think about gaining some extra troopers. Excellent stuff. Let's go ahead and give it off first in turn here. No need for any diplomacy. We're here for fighting. Alright, so this is going to be the mod mini that pops up for SFO. Pops up about here if you want to change and tweak any of your settings that are active. It just allows you to either give yourself buffs or debuffs on pretty much any of these here selected options. We're going to keep everything at default. Yes, indeed. So for our next turn here, what all is included in this Herdstone's Blood Grounds? So we have Grasgar Castle with these awesome looking lads here, Lungi. We have Barfleur. Lads of Land of Barf. This region is 6, probably because it is a main settlement. And 4 for everyone around here. Not bad, let's get to destroying everything. Morghur. Our units are recruited up as much as we need to. As far as our actual challenges go, win a battle with 4 heroes, win 4 battles in a single turn. That'll likely come later. Much easier to gain if you were playing at Torox, though. Summon 10 units in battles. Dread grain. We need 3 characters rank 15, though. Slow going on that one. Birdstones in 3 different climates. Killer wound 5 faction leaders. We should definitely go for that one. Sooner rather than later. Upgrade our Primal Fury. I don't know if that doubles it or just gives it about a couple extra percentages, but either way, it's fine by me. Win siege battles. Rituals of Ruin, and the rest of these just require you to unlock the initial technology. Fair enough, fair enough. Well, none of these are actual siege battles. But we'll fight this one just to continue our bestial rage. Hopefully try to kind of hang out and ambush another army that shows up. But now to war. For Alicia. It auto-resolve decisive victory. What a boring time that would be. Let's make us some peasant chunky salsa. War. Alright. So what kind of spells is the least you can have access to? Block of Dooms, not a bad one. We'll want to make sure our Gorbol is charging straight through the lines going after her. There are a few archers, and that'll be really their only damage they have access to here, so let's set up kind of an ambush. We'll have our own Ungor Raiders hanging out in this wood elf-looking forest. Beautiful. Of the waystones and the kind of glow they kick off into the trees. We'll throw in the extra Ungor Spears to be their shield. Maybe. If we can hack it. Although they'll try to stay invisible as long as possible. Sad we haven't got to see as many of the Bretonnia maps in our other campaigns. These are awesome looking battlefields. Much more like some of the battlefields of yore from the previous historical games. Weakened Spearmen, we'll keep them in the back. We'll use them as kind of last ditch charging at Spearmen if we really need to. Razor Gore Chariots I'm going to have steaming out of these woods if possible. Can indeed hide them. Same thing with the Centaurs. The devastating flanking force out of the woods. I want them to know where our spawn are. We'll have them sweeping around on either side of our woods ambush. Alright. Spearmen and Axe Ungor ready to throw some bows. Stuff. Do we have anyone new added on in to take a look at? I think these guys count as new. Same old Ungor, we just gave them a shield. We like these a little bit more. Or they were smart enough to find some scrap wood just to use to block some blade thrusts. A bit more bright these ones are. I'm just going to send Morghur into a mass of enemy infantry to try to summon in some spawn rather quickly. Let's get to it. These guys in their guard mode. Cavalry and the boys. Let's get them. Sweep you guys round wide. All these Ungor. They're gonna start moving towards us. We'll bring our Centaur up in the woods there. I'll have them walk, because I don't mind them being a little out of formation. They move very quickly. Have these Ungor spears fall back ever so slightly. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce that. That's gonna get me in trouble. I hear you, Ungor. Followers of Chaos, you are indeed. And well back. We'll use them as a spawn back up. You gonna let us come to you? Or the unwashed hordes of Bretonnia coming to meet us? Truth be told, I would not be happy if I was a normal farmer and was not handed any extra weapon. Just, here's your shovel. Go fight a chaos spawn. I'm sure it's gonna go great. Here they come. Excellent. Morghur, you go find some peasants and give them a hug. Surely they would love a corrupting hug from Morghur. Okay, they're gonna be boring and run away again. Alright, Morghur, you are gonna continue to bring up and bring them some love. Let's have the rest of the squad all up into position then. Let's get ready to fight. I think the Razor Gore threw them off. Centaur is round. Razor Gore definitely threw them off. We're just gonna basically send the Razor Gore through these peasant mob. Should have absolutely no trouble going straight through them like butter. Let the Centaur come out as well. Bring them out, bring them out. Alright, now let's go ahead and have our bow Ungor here start weakening these peasant bowmen. Crashed into those spearmen. Oh yeah, sliced it right through the front line. Watch this peasant mob, you guys come back this way. Just keep frolicking through the bows. The terrified shrieks of the peasants. These archers are too far forward, fall back. Keep falling back there. You guys run down that line of peasant bowmen. Keep moving in, we'll have the Chaos Spawn help out with these men-at-arms. Doom Bull, what are you doing? Sintigor are going to be the ones that are going to try to lock down and destroy, so we'll pull them away. Best we can. They've focused the entire army on our Sintigors. Clearly, they have a problem. Come on, keep moving your way in. We'll have the Razor Gore shut down these archers, and just everyone else already fleeing. Beautiful. We're gonna likely deal with a couple of our Sintigors because they've got so many units surrounding them. Run them straight over. This is marvelous. You can actually enjoy the carnage. Young will run through, hunting the peasants. It's a bad day to be a soldier or just a normal person in Bretonia. Okay, so where you guys charge straight into spearmen, so let's at least be smart and pull you into some peasant mob instead. And we'll let these spawn fight those soon-to-be broken spearmen at arms. They're all fleeing clear off the map. You poor peasants. One over here and help out with this group. One more charge for us. One of them managed to break free. Come on, piggy chariots. Do your thing. That was rather weak, wasn't it? You're embarrassing me in front of my friends. Alright, we'll let the piggies frolic. I'm going to gather up some dread and I'll catch you all in a moment. Right into the decisive win. We only lost 52 in the fray, which is definitely better than the auto-resolve it would have given us. Lots of extra veterancy coming on out, which is great to see, even if on the normal two-handed spear Ungors, which are pretty useless. We are going to go ahead and... choices are raise and loot for 320. And some more bestial rage, or we can gain replenisher rate and some extra corruption. Actually, a tough call. Let's go for the replenisher rate. We run a very long ways away back to Castle Artois. Fair enough. Morghur, what kind of stances do you have access to? We've got the Beastmen ambush, or spoiler rating. We can even do it in friendly territory because it really wouldn't. We don't really gain any income at all. We can gather the herds and give us more experience gain. Pretty healthy amount. Raiding is going to give us some bestial rage. Let's do some raiding. We can come out and down and attack those in Uisin. I'm going to. Uisin. They shall die all the same. We'll grab our gargantuan hooves for the extra 10% movement range. I think we'll work on our blue line to start here. We've got some pretty good ones. The Fetid Gallipot for that constant casualty replenishment rate. Plus by Evil just gives you more post-battle loot. It'll be pretty important for a faction that's not going to be having any income normally. Recruit while we're raiding? Likely not. Let's go ahead and throw in a few more Ungor raiders. Stop us from raiding, probably. Yes, sadly. Such is the way. We do need more soldiers, and since we don't pay for them, there's no reason not to. 4 archers there. Let's go for Go for 6 archers total, and then we'll start working on some more speedy units. Being able to match the peasant archers and beat them is going to be pretty important. Alright then. That's in the turn. Right then. So they've got a new lord going on in that area. Perfect. Let's go ahead and start a raiding. We'll just come on into their area. Do some rampaging and raiding. She's not going to come out of this settlement no matter what. We can come on down and attack the Oak of Prophecy while we're here. It is also in our blood grounds. Or we can pivot and smack Sigmarsheim. Leprechauns. They're the leprechaun Sigmarites. That is the one and only time you'll ever hear that very horrible accent. While we are here, though, for those who are interested in knowing what our graphic settings are set at, here you are. And that's enough of that. Back to it. Keep doing our raiding thing. We are only missing a single unit, and I think that'll be just fine. We can grab them maybe next turn after destroying this settlement. Perfect. What an interestingly bold strategy of Cloud. Are you your...
Don't waste my time with petty talk.
Ooh, he is the faction leader. I think we should take this opportunity. He's not at war with anyone, which is a little bit sad we can't act as mercenaries. But we would be remiss not to attack them here. We've got 16 lads in this squad, so let's just move in and give them a smack on the side of the head. We'll switch to this Ruination stance, which gives us extra melee attack when laying siege, missile resistance when laying siege. I don't know if that counts as laying siege, though. So we should, in fact, not. I'd kind of like to try the Gathering Herds, because we would just go rampage immediately. I would think that's a really bad call, though. Let's switch over to the normal stance, that way we get all of the maximized favor from the battle. And we can give ourselves a new war. I'm going to wait until this group's faction leader's back, and then we'll go ahead and burn that settlement to the ground. Hello, you. Prepare for battle. Let's see what Claude's first army looks like. So he has himself outriders with handguns. That can be a problem. As well as some mortars and a team of great cannons. Should be an excellent test of our prowess. However, we shall have to get to this in the next episode. Alright, another jump cut due to a ambush from Grandfather Nurgle's second one for this episode. That's definitely a good omen. For now, though, I'm out of time for today. I've been Space Wars in Total War. Leave a like for the light god in us, sub for the sub though. I'll see you on the next one.